last time I did something I truly enjoyed was actually before school got in session this semester during the summer. I went to a music festival called Lightning in a Bottle, and I met a lot of incredible people from different parts of the state, and discovered a lot of new music that as the semester started, I started to use the music I discovered from that festival to help me go through homework, study, on my way to work and whatnot. And it kind of, every single time I listened to like a certain song that was played at the festival, it kind of just brings all of the memories back from the festival and the great time I had with my friends. Day before the festival actually started, my best friend from Colorado called me and said that she was driving on her way from Colorado to California to go to the festival, like day before it happened, and I haven't seen her in over a year, so that was really exciting to have all of my close friends with me for this amazing experience.
Welcome back to Success and Equity on BCTV. I'm your host, Francis Mayer, and that student was just asked when the last time she did something she truly enjoyed. And you have more opportunities to do things you enjoy if you have more financial mobility, and you have more financial mobility if you have an education. And one young woman who figured that out was the lieutenant. What is your name?
My name is Taylor Holiday, sir.
But people call you Lieutenant.
Second Lieutenant Holiday.
Yes, that is correct. And what is your hometown?
Bakersfield, right here.
Right. When did you graduate from high school?
Graduated Frontier High School in 2011.
Wow. And let's go. I know Chris McCullough just pointed out that you called me sir, even though I'm not doing my comb over this morning. I must be looking my age. You're very respectful. What was it like being in high school in Bakersfield? A lot of people can relate to that, but they can't relate to you making the jump into being a U.S. military officer. How did that happen?
Well, I think a lot of people, no matter where you're from, kind of want to branch out from their hometown, see some new places. So ever since I was probably 11, I knew I wanted to go to UC Santa Barbara. That's been my dream school. That's where my mom went to college. So going through high school, that was always my goal. My junior year of high school, I found out about the Army ROTC program, and they happened to have one at UC Santa Barbara. So everything kind of lined up, and so starting my junior year of high school, I started working towards the scholarship program, and everything lined up for me. So I was able to go to school and get an Army education from it.
So how much is that costing you?
0. Yes.
But with how many numbers in front?
That's it. No numbers in front.
So 1 digit 0.
Yes.
That's amazing. That is incredible. And that opportunity is available to you. And what is your specialty? Your job?
So I am an engineer officer. I just completed the engineering basic officer leader course in Missouri. So I'm brand new. I just graduated college in June, went straight to Missouri for my first training, and yeah, I'm really excited.
My wife is actually a Missouri-trained engineer.
Oh, really?
Yes, she went to the Missouri Institute of Science and Technology.
Okay, we're really close to that.
Yeah, and engineering is a rewarding career, and it changes the way you think. My wife is management on every assembly project we have in our house. If we get a new ceiling fan, I'm just labor. I just do what she tells me to do. Engineers are great. So what sort of engineer are you?
Well, by degree, I'm actually a political science degree.
Sure.
When the Army sent me to engineering BOLIC, as we call it, Basic Officer Leader course, we learn all different Army engineer trades. So there's a couple main parts to the branch, you could say. There's the combat engineering, the general engineering, which is also known as construction, and geospatial engineering. So my first unit or job, you could say, is going to be construction. So I'll be either horizontal or vertical engineering. So I'll either be laying the ground for construction or building the actual buildings.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's obviously a trade that you can take out of the military as well.
Yes. A lot of project management aspects to the engineering core of the Army, which is something I hope to eventually translate into the civilian side, which would be fantastic.
When you don't have any student debt.
Yeah.
And you buy a car that you want to buy, and you don't lament the fact that you have. Yeah, I am 38 years old. My wife is 36, and we just paid off her student loans a couple years ago. So, yeah, I mean, it's an issue for a lot of young people, but if you come from, economically disadvantaged background like my wife did, actually, sometimes you have to do that. But the Army says, no, you don't.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity. I mean, I'm 22. I'm debt-free. I'm the Army degreed.
A commissioned officer in the United States military.
Which is still hard to believe sometimes.
Can you believe that?
No.
You were not long ago. You were eating lunch at Frontier.
I know it.
You were living here in Bakersfield. Man, wishing that you could go up to Magic Mountain or drive down to Disneyland and, oh, it's hot.
Yep.
When am I going to get out of here? And you've done it in this big way. What a huge leap. Is that a lot of activity compressed into a small amount of time, and the adventure is just about to really take off for you? What is the next step?
I'm heading out to Grafenwehr, Germany in December. Super excited. It was my first choice. Engineering was also my first choice of branch, so all the cards are lining up, and I'm very excited.
How did you position yourself to have the cards line up? Because, well, make no mistake, this wasn't all luck. It might have been a little, but you made decisions along the way.
Yes, it was.
Go back to Frontier and tell me about like the first step. How did that work out?
Sure. Well, the Army's really big in leadership and athletics. So I played a lot of sports growing up. In high school, I played volleyball and basketball at Frontier. I was involved in a lot of clubs. I was secretary of the student council, and I was able to kind of build my resume up through that and apply for the Army ROTC National Scholarship. With all those things on my resume, I got very lucky. I got the scholarship, went to UC Santa Barbara, continued to participate in extracurriculars both in the program and in the school, and was able to build myself up high enough on a list to get the place and the branch that I wanted.
Okay. And again, just like when we talked to the captain earlier, there are ways to perceive wealth. You have quite a bit of wealth right now. It's just not stacked up in money, or maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe you're good at saving. But the value that you got out of the U.S. Army right now is incredible.
Oh, absolutely.
It translates into money. You could pay to do all these things.
Sure.
It would have just cost you into the six figures.
Oh, yeah. And the traveling that the Army has already allowed me to do, I would have never done, especially at this age.
So you were, again, a Bakersfield gal. Mm-hmm. And were you born here?
Yes.
So what was the farthest you traveled before then? Just a Bakersfield girl?
I went to Mexico on a family trip once.
Once?
When I was younger, yeah.
How old were you?
9.
And your parents are teachers?
Yes, sir. They're teachers at Taft and Rio Bravo Greeley.
Yeah, so they're not the Rockefellers. You were just a total Bakersfield family.
Yep.
And now, where have you traveled to?
Goodness, well, all over the states. I just spent 5 months in Missouri.
I think when I have you Army folks on, I need to bring a globe. And you can just spin that
it.
sucker and point out to where you've been. Okay.
I've been up to Washington a couple times, Missouri. I've been to New Mexico twice to run a marathon with the Army. That was a really great experience. Outside of the country, I've been to Thailand and Germany once already, and then, like I said, I'm going back to Germany for a couple of years.
What'd you think of Thailand?
It was an interesting experience. It is a whole different world out there. It's a beautiful country, very beautiful. And Germany, same. I got to travel while I was out there as well around. Gorgeous.
And folks, well, I'm not going to speak for anybody else. I'll speak for myself. Sometimes I've thought when my friends said that, they were traveling with the military, I didn't realize how much you guys really get out and backpack.
Oh, yeah.
And do stuff.
Oh, yeah. Both of those trips, especially Thailand, we were actually doing work with the Thai military, and they took us all around Thailand. We saw so many places, and it didn't feel like work at all. It was like a month-long vacation.
Wow, that's absolutely incredible. And again, when we talk about value, because a lot of times I hear young people, and I definitely consider this, only equating compensation in terms of what comes in the paper check. But that's just not taking all of the metrics into account, is it?
Right. No, not at all.
Because what would a month in Thailand cost you? Thousands of dollars.
Easily.
And you would have had to pay a guide to take you around for a month, which, by the way, is not going to be better than what a soldier can show you in his own country, right?
This is true.
It would have been incredibly expensive and near impossible. You probably saw things that some civilians don't see.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's some really cool stuff over there with them.
Yeah, and it started here
in Bakersfield. Yep, that's right.
Do you plan to be in for 20 years?
I don't know. I plan to at least be in for 8 to 10. That's the goal right now, and see where it takes me. see what else is going on, and maybe 20.
Awesome. Very good. Again, so what would you recommend to a person here who is a sophomore or a junior and is thinking that they want to go into the military? What can they do to get ahead? Some easy tips.
Man, play sports, get involved with your school, do a lot of things that foster leadership. Just leadership, that's what it's all about. So any type of club, sport, job outside of school would be fantastic. And then look into the colleges you're interested in and see if they have an ROTC program, or look into the enlisting and the recruiting stations down here in town. There's a lot of opportunities out there.
So you talk about leadership. Do you feel like you were a born leader? Or has it been acquired?
I feel like a little bit of both. I mean,
Okay.
I grew up with, like I said, playing a lot of sports. So my parents kind of pushed me towards that, like, team captain leadership kind of, orientation. But a lot of it is acquired, and the Army really does teach you how to be in front of people, present yourself, and, I mean, there's really no other way to say it, lead people and inspire them.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do.
And travel and get a free education and make a pretty good salary, all to boot.
All on the side.
Total compensation. That's an idea that students need to wrap their heads around. Life is a lot easier if you love what you do.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, Lieutenant, thank you so much for being on the show. And I hope that young ladies out there in Bakersfield see that it can happen for them if they put in the effort.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Very
Thank you
good.
for having me.
You're very welcome. Coming up next, we've got a familiar face. Usually she talks about sports, but today we're going to make her talk about herself. It's Lena Washington from KGET on Success and Equity on BCTV coming up next.